Good morning, first graders, and happy Thursday to all of you. This is day 6 of virtual learning, and I say this every day, but I hope it's easier, and I hope you're in a new schedule now. You only have one more day to go, and then you have a whole entire week off break. So 1 week from today, it's going to be Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you get to eat some yummy food on that day and watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade with all the balloons on TV. If they're still going to have it, I assume they are. And treat yourself this week. Take a break from school because you deserve it. So, if you don't already have your calendars, you can go ahead and get them out. And you can go ahead and cross off yesterday's date, the 18th. So, go ahead and put an X through that box because yesterday is over. So, if you had a bad day, don't look back. You don't have to think about it anymore. Just cross that day off. So, today is Thursday, November 19th, 2020. So, now you can go ahead and flip your paper to the next page that you have and write the date, November 19th, 2020. Go ahead and pause the video if you need to do that. Alrighty, hopefully you got both of those things done, the date on your calendar, and then wrote what day it is in terms of the date. So yesterday, if we go back on our calendar, yesterday was Wednesday, that's hump day, and tomorrow is Friday or Fry-yay. Go ahead and sing your Days of the Week song. Alrighty, we have been in school for 51 days. 5-1. School keeps going even though you're not here. School day 51. So go ahead and count with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't say 60. I say 51. So tomorrow, on Friday, our number of the day is going to be 52. Yesterday, on Wednesday, it was 50. 10 days from now, hopefully, again, I have both of my fingers crossed, hopefully you will be with me on day 61, and 10 days ago when you were in class, sitting in your seats, it was day 41, okay? And I have good news for you. So today's weather is going to be the nicest it has been all week. It's going to be 63, which is like springtime weather. So get outside, take a break from your work, go play outside on your trampoline, on your swing set, whatever you have. Go take a walk with mom and dad. Might need a jacket today, might not, but 63 degrees. So go outside and enjoy it.
Hello, first graders, and happy week 2 of virtual learning. I decided to switch my video up today. I have been working by this heater the whole time, so I haven't been sitting at my desk. I've been sitting back here by the heater, and I like it. So this is where I'm at. That's why I thought I would switch things up a little bit and do our lesson from our small group table today. So your reading lesson today is all about firefighters at work. Remember, our target this week is focusing all about jobs in our community and why they're important and what people do. Okay, so remember that as we read this firefighters at work, I know we've been reading a lot of firefighter stories lately, but we're going to practice that, and we're also going to practice our making predictions strategy. So you know that this week we're focusing all about how we can make predictions, or we can tell what we think is going to happen in the story. We're going to do that with firefighters at work. Okay, so here's our story. I'm going to flip through it so you can kind of see what the pictures are. So I'm going to predict that it's going to tell me what firefighters do at work. Okay, maybe what happens when they go on a call. And that's the end of my story. So you can see my story is pretty short, and it looks like it's a nonfiction story. So as I'm doing my book walk, I can tell that my story is actually true. I see real people, I see real photographs, real events, real things that are happening. That tells me that it's a nonfiction story. Okay, so we can also tell that this story is really similar to The Red Hat. So earlier this week you read The Red Hat. The Red Hat was a story about a firefighter named Jen, and she was new to this stuff, but she ended up saving the day. So maybe I can say that this book is also going to be a lot like our story about the Red Hat. So let's get on with it. I'm going to point out some things, and I'm going to read this story to you. So this is called Firefighters at Work, and I can already see just on the first page that I have a whole bunch of labels. And remember, labels, here I'll put it a little bit closer. Labels are these little guys right here. They tell me what is in the picture. Okay, so this one says hat. Ooh, that's ironic. Boots, those are his boots that he wears. Pole, this is the pole that they slide down. So this guy was on a different story, and they slid down to go to the truck. Okay, so remember, our labels are words in the picture that tell me what is inside the picture, tell me information about the picture. Okay, so a bell rings at the firehouse. Firefighters slide down a pole. they put on special clothes fast. Why do you think they gotta put on special clothes fast? I'll take a picture. Probably because they gotta get to the call fast, right? So if they just took their time, the fire would probably get bigger by the time they got there. Or maybe it's a wreck, or whatever they're responding to. The firefighters jump in a fire truck. The red truck speeds to the fire. It has a loud siren and a flashing red light. That tells cars to move away. Again, I have some more labels on this, so just by looking at the picture, I can tell I have 3 different labels. So this label says light, so those are the lights that are on the fire truck. This says hose, so there's where the fire hose is at. And this says ladder. Where do you think the truck is going? Where do you think this fire truck is going right now? I can predict where it's going, so maybe I can say it's going to a call, maybe it's going to a fire, maybe somebody got hurt, so maybe somebody's in a nursing home and they fell. Maybe that's what they're responding to. It doesn't have to be a fire. So I can predict what is happening in the story too. I don't have to do it just before. Let's go to the next page. The brave firefighters get to work. They use hoses to spray water. Their special clothes protect them. They put out the fire. I don't see any labels on that page, but I can say my prediction was right if I said that he was going to a fire, because guess what? They're using those giant hoses to put the fire out. Looks like a pretty big fire too. And look, I have one of those important words. Looks like protect. Protect keeps you safe. Now it is time for lunch. They have lunch together. Then they wait for the next bell. Why do they wait for the next bell? Why do you think they wait? Yeah, because that's when they know to go for a call. So when the bell rings in the fire station, that tells them they gotta get dressed, they gotta get on the truck, and they gotta go really, really fast. What do you think they're making? I'm thinking maybe it's Italian, because they have some kind of sauce here. They got some salads, so maybe they're making spaghetti or lasagna, any of those things. So we can also make connections, like we talked about earlier. We can also make connections to the story that we read earlier. So I can make a connection that this guy has a hat, and Jen in our story also has a hat. I can make another connection that the firefighters in this story responded to a fire, and Jen also responded to a fire. And then I can also make another connection that they eat at the firehouse, and Jen ate with 2 other firefighters at the firehouse. So see how I can make connections even though the books aren't the same books? They're not even the same genre. So our story about Jen, remember we said this one was realistic fiction. So if I flip back to Jen, it's realistic fiction. It's not real, but it could happen. It could be real. So this story could happen in real life. That's why it's called realistic fiction, but it didn't. Hence why it's a cartoon. Okay? But our other story, that would be nonfiction, because these are real firefighters, these are real pictures, real things that happened. Okay? So not only can we make predictions at the beginning of our story, we can make it throughout the story by looking at the pictures, and we can make it at the end. So I could say my prediction was kind of correct, that it told me about firefighters and they responded to a call, but I wasn't entirely correct. So I hope you enjoyed Firefighter Week.